Hey guys, Joey from Class J Video Productions here. I apologize in advance because my Sony battery died yesterday, so I'm gonna have to bring out the Canon Vixia HF R40, which I'm shooting with right now. So check this out. I went to Pen Lover's Paradise today, as you can clearly see, and I have written with it some, so it's kind of already been unboxed, but here it is. A brand, well, not brand new now, but it's a Lamy Al-Star. Yes, that's right. Didn't get a Safari this time because of the Safari breaking. And Pam from Pen Lover's Paradise actually said that she had a guy come in not too long ago that had the same problem. And anyway, it's a little bit heavier, not by much, and I'm going to make this pretty brief because you already know what the Lamy Safari rate's like, and this is the same pen for the most part. So now, before I go on, there's something a little bit new. Real quick, I'm going to take the nib off here. That was a medium. That's a medium nib right there. If I can get a good grip on the thing. Right. Okay. So here we go. For some reason, the medium is very hard to replace, so I'll just put that off. But check this out. I don't know if you can really see, but I've got a broad nib. You can't really see the B on there, but so anyway, let's try the broad nib, shall we? Yeah, you can see the broad on there. Now, one of the first things that you'll notice is that it is a wider line. I don't know how well you can tell there, but yeah. Another thing that I actually noticed with it is that it's much smoother, but it's not that much wetter than I thought it would be. So that was a pretty big surprise. And I smudged a little bit there. Now here comes the really fun part. That was just the Lamy cartridge. Next step is we're going to take the cartridge out and put it aside, and I just sprayed ink a little bit there. But anyway, even though my other Lamy pen broke, luckily the cartridge survived. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to break out the private reserve, and I'm going to start cranking. Alright, and I'll go ahead and wipe the nib off there, and we'll go ahead and try with the medium nib. And let's see, you just make sure it writes like the private reserve. Alright, so we'll go ahead and write the same series of words. Right before, and here we go. And I got a little bit of ink on my third finger, but it's alright. I have been wanting to try the All-Star anyway, and it just so happens that this was the perfect opportunity to do so. Alright, so that's the regular medium nib right there. And like I said, you can kind of see the difference there. There's the medium nib. And the broad nib is a bit thicker. You can't tell a huge difference on camera for some reason, but when you look at it on the in real life, you can see a difference. And I think I better put the cap back on the private reserve ink, because for some reason the medium nib is harder to take off. Actually, it came off pretty easy that time. So anyway, I'm going to put that aside. And here comes the really fun part, because I've never tried the private reserve ink with a broad nib. So let's go ahead and see how that works. I'll go ahead and try it down here. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. So far, this is my favorite. Private reserve ink coupled with the broad nib. I never honestly thought I'd say this, but I like the broad nib so much better than the medium nib. And that looks so pretty on the page. And I'm just using regular notebook paper too. This isn't any fancy stationery. In fact, I think I'm just going to keep the broad nib on here as soon as I'm done with this video. Alright, so here's the comparison right here. There's the Lamy Blue medium. And then we have the Lamy Blue broad. Followed by the Private Reserve Naples Blue medium. And the Private Reserve Naples Blue broad. This one is my favorite. No doubt about it. My absolute favorite. But you want to know the real fun part? I'm going to do the same thing with the Noodler's Blue Black. So if you excuse me, I'm going to cut the camera real quick and I will return shortly. Actually, I'll go ahead and just drain this on the camera here. I'll just go ahead and empty it out. Hold on just a minute. Alright. And one thing you do have to keep in mind though is when you're emptying out, you gotta make sure you get all the ink out of there. And ooh, baby, that's oozing a lot of ink. Gotta make sure it gets all out of there. Get it out of the system. Let's see, I'll go ahead and okay. I know I've already used the Lamy Safari as far as the Naples blue and everything is concerned, but I think it would be a fair test to be able to use all of them here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And as you can see, there's still some Private Reserve Naples blue ink in there, but it's drying out now. Okay, so the fun part, next step, take the Noodler's blue black and siphon it in here. And I got a few air bubbles in there, but not too bad. I think I might need to try that one more time. Need to take the medium nib off too, or the broad nib rather, and I just made a really big mess, but that's okay. Still not getting a very good amount in there. Alright, that's a little bit better. Alright, so we got the, I believe this is the medium. Yeah, that's a medium. Alright, so we'll go ahead and flip the page, and we'll try the blue black Noodlers medium nib, and we'll see how she writes. Alright, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and move it over here because, let's see, alright. Let that dry a minute. Noodler's ink is very wet. Of course, to be honest with you, actually, the Private Reserve is pretty wet too. As far as the color is concerned, I actually prefer the Naples blue from Private Reserve, but at some point I want to try Ottoman's Azure ink. That looks really nice. And actually the bold doesn't really bleed through the page much, believe it or not. I really thought it might, but it doesn't appear to. So anyway, we'll go ahead and take the medium nib off now. And alright. And put the broad nib back on. Now once I put the broad nib back on here, it's gonna stay. Ooh, wow. You can see the color so much better on this now with the broad. Oh man, that's nice. That's really, really nice. I love that color. I do favor Private Reserve over this still, though, I have to say. Give that a minute to dry. Okay. Now I should note that this is going to be the last fountain pen that I buy for quite a while, because I'm trying to save money for a car. But anyway, that's the medium, although I'm writing it with the bold, so that's okay. And then the broad is right here. So I really like the broad point, though. I gotta tell you, I think it's a much nicer point. It's smoother. It doesn't scratch at all, actually, which is one thing that I really, really like about it. So we'll go through the comparisons once again. I'll just put that there. There's the Lamy blue traditional cartridge with a regular medium. Followed by the broad. And then we move to the medium with the Naples blue from Private Reserve. That's the medium nib there. And then we get the broad with the Private Reserve, which I think I'm actually going to use as default. Although I will admit that I really, really like the way the Noodler looks. And then we got the medium Noodlers. Followed by the broad Noodlers. And I can see more blue than black, actually. It's kind of almost a greenish type color with the broad. You can see the color much better. See right in there, you see more black than you do blue. But then in the broad, you can actually see more of a real color to it, I guess you could say. But yeah, I really like it. It's really, really nice. And let's see. Put that up a little bit. Let's see. Light's getting in the way again. There we go. Again. there you have it. That's the here, zoom out just a little bit. Yeah, that's really nice there. Oops. The shading is very nice. Just writing random stuff now, but anyway. Yeah. I really am impressed with the broad nib on this pen, definitely. It's I will note that when I went to the place, to Pen Lovers Paradise, I was considering getting either the 1.1, the 1.5, or the 1.9. The 1.1 was okay. I did not like the 1.5 at all. I really wanted to, but I think the way that my handwriting style is, it was just a little too too much on the bold side. It was like writing with like a miniature permanent marker or something. Now, surprisingly, the 1.9 actually was okay too. Which is really weird because it was wider than the 1.5. I really don't understand why that was, but that was the case. But like I said, since my Lamy Safari is obviously in pieces, that's one reason why I went ahead and went for the All-Star instead. But that's the color that you can expect from the Noodler's Blue Black. But I think I'm going to go ahead and switch it back over to the Private Reserve because I've still got quite a bit of that left as we speak. So I'm going to go ahead and empty this pen of the Noodler's ink. And one thing that you absolutely have to be sure of is to clean the pen out, because you don't want to mix ink colors or anything like that. Let's see, there's still some. There's a little ink blot hanging off the nib there, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and clean that out. And I think there's some still in the ink feed system, but we'll get that out too. Just siphon it out like that. And there's still some in the reservoir here, as you can see, but it's getting more dry as we speak. That's because I'm siphoning it out. But we'll go ahead and what I'm doing here is I'm just doing it up and down like that so it can get the ink system out. And yeah, it looks like it's pretty dried up. It's still writing a little bit with the Noodlers, but it's not like a whole lot, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the Private Reserve back in here. So I don't have a full bottle of the Private Reserve, but as far as Okay. I'm going to have to try that again because I had got too much air in there. If you go really, really slow, you can get the most amount of ink, which is really important. It's still not perfect, but we'll go ahead and give it one more try. Here we go. That's a lot better. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and wipe that off, and it still needs to be wiped off a little more. There we go. Whoop, I just took the nib off by accident, and I'm getting more on my hand still, so that's not very good. But anyway, there we go. Perfect. And as you can see, I've made a real mess on my hands, but that's alright. That's what the dishwashing detergent is for, besides cleaning dishes. Yeah, that's really nice. I can't believe how much smoother the broad nib is. It's a night and day difference between the medium. The medium is really nice too, but this broad nib is so smooth. I mean, it's like silk across the page. It's very nice, and I think I've actually found that this is probably best for my handwriting. So anyway, thanks for watching. And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe. This is basically my other hobby besides rail fanning. I'll be posting mostly train videos, but there you go. Okay. Well, have a good night, everybody. Over and out. Thanks for watching my review of the Lamy Al-Star, and I hope you enjoyed it. I gotta get all this ink off my hands.